What if the world you knew was completely destroyed, torn apart by constant war with a horrific horde of beings that only appeared every 3 years to try to bring humanity to its knees? Well, that's the setting of my newest novel, Abandon All Hope, and I hope you guys will enjoy hearing about it as much as I'm enjoying writing it. Good morning, everybody. It's me, Alec the author here. I am here this morning to bring you the first video in a series that I'm going to be doing that will happen every Wednesday or Thursday. That will be going over some of the backstory, the setting, the characters of my newest novel, Abandon All Hope. I'm still in the process of writing the manuscript, so there's still a lot that could change, a lot that will be adjusted and moved around, but I figured this would be a good way for you guys to get as excited as I am about these characters and this setting and this novel, and you know, maybe pick up some fans before this thing even comes out. Now, before I go ahead and get into it, I want to go ahead and take this opportunity to thank my patrons, whose names you will find meow. These amazing people make it possible for me to do what I do, and without them, none of this would ever happen. So thank you, patrons, from the bottom of my heart. If maybe you're interested in becoming a patron, why don't you head on over to patreon.com/AlecTheAuthor. The link for that will be down in the description below this video. There you can find out how you can get your name into every video that I make, as well as some other awesome rewards and perks and stuff like that, like becoming a beta reader, getting advanced copies, signed copies. So go check that out, patreon.com/AlecTheAuthor. If you enjoy this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, share it around with your friends, maybe drop a sub on the channel. We're getting very, very close to 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and I couldn't be more excited, but I definitely need your help to push us over that edge. So drop a subscribe, it would mean the world to me. Also, don't be afraid to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of what I have to say in these videos, what you would maybe do to improve or change things, questions that you might have. I'm always happy to answer. Or even if you just want to say hi. I like saying hi. Hi. Hello. I don't know what to do with my hands. Enough with this stuff though, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. So for the first of these kind of, I guess you could call them teasers for my upcoming novel, I wanted to give you guys an idea of the setting that this novel takes place in. Abandon All Hope takes place in a world that has been torn apart by war for the past 200 years. The setting really begins in our very near future, when out of nowhere a temporal breach is opened that opens a doorway between Earth and a completely unknown realm. From out of that breach comes a horde of, the only way to describe them would be, demonic entities. These creatures are powerful, these creatures are bloodthirsty, and they seem to have only one motivation, and that is to completely destroy our world. When these creatures first emerged, religious leaders of the time thought of them as demons, and most likely that the breach was a doorway into hell itself. And why not? I mean, nobody had seen the other side of the breach. You've got these monsters that are coming out of it, sulfur and toxins and everything else. It made sense that it would be a doorway to hell. You all done? Teddy? You all done? Yeah. Can you give Daddy your bottle? Thank you. Okay, now Daddy's making a video, so keep that in mind. He's not going to care. He's 2. Eventually, only by coming together are the armies of the world able to push these creatures back into their breach and find a way to seal it. But it doesn't come without heavy losses and heavy consequences for the planet. With how long the breach was open the first time, clouds of toxic sulfurous fumes escaped from the breach, and there was so much of it that it did irreparable damage to the planet. But even that wasn't the worst part. Even though they were able to drive these demonic hordes back through the breach and seal it shut, every 3 years the breach returns at the exact same spot. This is what the people left alive began to refer to as the cycle. Every 3 years, the breach would open in the exact same place, and every 3 years, humanity would have to fight for its life against these creatures. And eventually, we got pretty good at it, to the point that where our story takes place, we are approaching the 70th cycle, and humanity has a pretty solid defense. They build a massive base around where the breach opens called Zero Base. They've walled in the area, set up auto turrets around it, all kinds of stuff to be able to fight the horde when they do come through every 3 years. Now, as far as who resides in Zero Base, these are all the essential military personnel. You have your basic infantry soldiers and people that will help support closing the breach. You have your technicians who are responsible for keeping all of the technology that is holding the breach at bay running, basically, as well as developing new pieces of technology to use against the creatures when they do emerge. Then you have specialized fighting units. These are the people humanity calls the Argonauts. They're basically this world's version of Master Chief from Halo. Specialized units with specialized, highly technical gear that are able to dive into the breach and seal it from the other side. I'll get a little bit more in depth on the classifications within Zero Base in a later video, because our main characters fall under these categories. Our male main character is a technician who is actually part of the R&D department, and our female main character is the leader of the Argonauts. It's gotten to the point that the Horde itself is not even really a threat to the rest of the people alive on the planet anymore. It's more of just a fact of life now. The planet, though, not doing so hot. With everything that gets released from the breach, the planet is basically on its last legs. The air is no longer breathable without gas masks and other specialized equipment. Whole oceans have dried up. Crops won't grow. The ground is basically poison. So because of that, the last remnants of humanity are living in what's called the biodomes. 3 massive structures built quite a good distance away from Zero Base, where non-military personnel, as well as farmers who can grow crops and raise livestock, families, all of those type people, that is where they live. And as far as they know, the people in the biodomes and the military personnel at Zero Base are all that's left of humanity at this point. Like I said, where our story picks up is on the verge of the 70th cycle. But humanity has hope that this cycle could be the last, or at least tides are going to shift based on new technology that they've been able to come up with throughout the years. Remember, this has been happening for over 200 years at this point. They're hoping that they will be able to get a better understanding of what's actually on the other side of the breach and how they can maybe find a way to make it stop. I'm not going to reveal too much because I do want you to read the book. But that's basically the world that we find ourselves in. I had a lot of inspirations for this, but the main ones were actually the film Pacific Rim, as well as Dante's Inferno. So you can kind of think about it as a world that's like, you know, technologically advanced, but then you get some old school hell lore in there as well. And none of that is spoilery. I mean, honestly, there's a lot to discover about this world, and a lot that people will discover about something they thought they pretty much had figured out. So yeah, hopefully that drums up a little bit of excitement for you about the setting of this novel, and I hope that you guys enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed writing it. If you have thoughts about what you heard there, make sure you leave me a comment so that I know. I always try to respond to it, every single comment, so I would love to hear what you have to say. Again, thank you to all my patrons who have made these videos 100% possible. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, you guys. And in the meantime, y'all be excellent to each other. I'll see you tomorrow for our Friday update. Y'all take care.